So this particular question that I ask guys is one that freaks them right out because quite often they don't know the answer to it. So in order to understand the concept of this question, I'm going to take you to an analogy of something I struggled with in the military to really understand the importance of this question. Now, there were lots of different things that I struggled with in the military, things that I had to work really hard at to become really good at. Now, navigation was one of those things that I was just turbo wank at when I was in training. I would never trust the bearing that was on my compass. And we would have navigational exercises at midnight, and I'd be walking into a gorse bush, or I'd be walking into a hole, or I'd be tripping over. I'd be lost and spinning out and flapping my tits off because I didn't know where to go. And the one thing I never did was trust that bearing. It's like, it can't be this way. And you'd second guess yourself all of the time. Now, as I went through my military career, I became a Royal Marine sniper. And to be a Royal Marine sniper, you probably have to be in the top 1 or 2% of map readers and navigation in the Corps. And on my build up towards the sniper course, I would go up to Dartmoor or Woodbury Common, which were 2 local areas, go out with an oppo, military slang for a mate, and we would go out and we'd practice navigation. I practiced going from one point to the next point and trusting the bearing. And what I was actually doing was that I knew what I was doing here with the bearing and the maps. I just had to trust my mind that I was on the right path. And I went on to successfully pass all of my navigational exercises in my sniper course, my junior command course. And the thing that got me to that point was doing the reps. I had to change the vehicle and the belief system that I had about trusting my bearing, not getting distracted, not getting put off path, not thinking, oh, it's that way, when data, reality, and groundwork have told me it's that way. It's very easy to get pulled in one direction. You know your direction of travel, it's really easy to get pulled off, like left, right, or center, right? It's easy to go, God, no, I feel like it's that way. I feel like my gut instinct is telling me it's that way. I remember seeing 2 tours, and tours are these huge rock build-ups. And I was convinced it was the one on the right. But my bearing was taking me to the left. And although I was going to that left, it didn't feel right. And then I saw the DS, which was the Director of Staff. And it was the right one. And often in life, we will have that. So the question that I think is the most challenging question for a man to answer, I know is challenging because I've been asked it on numerous occasions, and when I haven't known the answer, I've freaked out. I've spazzed out. I've kind of gone into this tism, overthinking. I'm like, geez, I need to figure out the answer to this question as soon as physically possible. And the reason that so many people do not know the answer to this is because they're in the rat race. Their head is down. They are distracted. They are short-sighted. And I know you're probably thinking in your head, dickhead, just get on and tell me what the question is. That's what I want to know. I have to be able to build up the context for you to understand. And the question goes like this. Where are you going in your life? The first time I was asked that question during my 3-year spell after leaving the military, that's when I spiraled. Because in the military, I could tell you where I was going. I was going to do 22 years. I was going to be a warrant officer in the physical training branch. I was going to travel the world. I was going to have a great life. I was going to have a great pension. As soon as I left that, the cord was cut. And I had no clue about where my life was going. I had no purpose. I had no fulfillment. I was not embracing life. And it almost took me to the point of, I was in so much pain with it, that I was so lost that I nearly even took my own life, which would have been a super selfish act for my kids at the time. So how do we know or find that direction? And actually, why do I feel like there is this huge emptiness or something missing? It's usually around here that we feel it, right? You could have a really nice house. You could have a really nice family. You could have a great business. You could be a great leader. You could have all the things that you'd, on paper, feel like you're in a good place and going in the right direction, but something is missing. And that something is something that we have to find. It's a mission. It's a purpose. It's a direction. It's clarity. It's control. And in order to find that, what we must do is do the reps. Just like I did the extra practice before my sniper course, my junior command course, I had to do the reps, I had to practice, so we have to do the same. It's very difficult to know where you want to go. Many people can't answer it because they're not in a great place, because they're not leading themselves. In order to build a mission, to know where you're going, you've got to be the leader of your life. And that's what I started doing after my suicide encounter, is that I started showing up. Health, mental, emotional, start focusing on that. I then every Sunday, without fail, would review my week and the things that I'd achieved. And I'd always think where the future's going in my 4 pillars: health, relationships, personal development, and business. And I still do that today, 10 years on, but with 100 guys that we train. And I can promise you this now, if you do not pay attention to this, if you do not focus on this, if you do not build that mission right now and stop scrambling, getting distracted, feeling like this direction's the right path for you, then you're going this way, then you're going that way, you are going to wake up at 65 with your fucking little gold pen and your pension at the very end of your life and go, fucking hell, I blinked and 20 years missed. We are not put here to pay fucking bills, to fucking fall into a system of a life that we're not happy with. The reason that you are so down and depressed and feel like you need to drink and hard on yourself and anxious is because you don't know where you are going. The next step of your life is stopping, taking a knee, taking the map out, checking your compass and going, what direction am I going now? And if you need help with that, then that's what we specialize in. We help men lead themselves to build a mission and then stay consistent with that mission. And the way that we start that process is by booking a call directly below, where we'll look at your biggest blockers and then we'll give you 3 things that you're going to action to move you forwards. But don't keep spending your life on the wrong yellow brick road. Your yellow brick road, your mission is at the other end of you leading yourself. So stop fucking around and let's get to work.